Welcome to Brainiac, the science show that's a bit like GCSE physics, but with more girls in bikinis and less physics. The big science tonight. Can we make this Brainiac give up smoking by stabbing him with a compass? Fill her up, love. We check out petrol power. John Tickle uses science to pick a date for the evening. And Tina Turner, some gunpowder and her Bunsen burner. Stand well back. But first, let's get shocking. Take one very large deserted warehouse. Introduce some low-amp 9-volt electrical equipment, one Brainiac, and you have yourself an experiment. The current that these electrode pads will carry produce electrical impulses that will stimulate specific muscle groups. Electricity, our Brainiac experiences strong muscle contraction. Painting. One more thing you can't do whilst being electrocuted.
Things that make you go,
Here's one for you. Do fish get thirsty?
Things that make you go,
We've all done it. Played petrol station roulette. You know how it goes. You're running low on petrol and you put it off and you put it off and then you just don't know if you'll make the next station. Well, have you ever stopped to wonder what's the best thing to do? Should you drive really, really slowly? Or maybe try and coast as much as possible? Or maybe just get it over with, go for it and drive as fast as you can to get to the station before you run out? Well, today on Brainiac, using this Brainiac mobile, we're going to find out. For this experiment, the Brainiac mobile will no longer get its fuel from the standard fuel tank. It'll now get it from this specially designed visible tank. This enables us to monitor the effectiveness of each method. Okay, so for my first attempt, I shall be using the slowly approach and resisting my natural inclination to just boot it and see how far an almost pedestrian pace will get me. It works. Okay, here we go. efficient that I managed to complete another 2.5 laps. Thankfully, method 1, after 15.5 laps, is finally over. Rescue, please. Okay, so the going slowly technique took me for 15.5 laps. Join us later on Brainiac when we try method number 2, the accelerate and coast technique. See if that takes me any further. Come on then! Come on, press on! Brainiacs are getting weaker.
Hello, I'm Paul Ross, and you're watching Brainiac, you lucky people. Oh, yes, 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 bring it on!
Tina Turner loves her science. Though she has, of course, now become an international singing star, she's never forgotten those school days she spent in the lab down in Nutbush. Whenever she gets a break from her busy schedule, she likes to get out her Bunsen burner and blow something up. On arrival at the scene, our voluptuous chanteuse hobbles gracefully into place. Having just stepped from the stage of a mediocre concert, she's keen for something to lift her spirits. And what better than another car wreck? Pondering the vehicles, she opts for a blue one to match her mood. Today, her plan is to lay out a long length of guttering, which will then carry her source of ignition to the car of her choice. This is how Tina loves to spend her spare time. After all, even an international superstar needs a hobby. It's warm work for our singer, but it's going to get even warmer when the fireball goes up. Gutter laid all the way up to the petrol tank of the car, Tina receives the igniting charge of the day. Gunpowder. And there's a little in the car itself, just to help the bang along. Then our star receives the vital tool of her explosive trade. But when it goes, the carbon and sulfur burn rapidly in the oxygen released by the potassium nitrate. Fizzling along its chosen path, Tina's devious plan nears its inevitable conclusion. A tense moment, waiting for the charge to arrive. Then up she goes. And up goes Tina, launching into her thing. You're simply the best! Tina Turner, simply the best at science. The truth can sometimes be difficult to get to the bottom of. That's why over the years millions of pounds have been spent on developing lie detectors. But do they really work? Well, to find out, we're going to be putting John Tickle to the test. He'll be using various forms of lie detection to try and determine which of two girls is telling the truth about what they're wearing. This is Shelley. She's not wearing very much at all, and she will be telling the truth. Her description about what little she is wearing will be 100% truthful. And this is Kelly. She's wearing the latest in hair curling products, pure polyester, and she smokes 40 fags a day. She's going to be utterly and completely lying about what she's wearing. Tickle's challenge is to choose his date. If he can spot the liar, he'll be fed whipped cream and strawberries by this beauty. But if he guesses wrong, he'll be fed a cold, greasy breakfast by our other stunner. So, first things first, Tickle has to be led blindfolded into the room and placed in position. At no stage has he seen Kelly or Shelley because, quite frankly, we'd like to see him get it wrong. With the girls in place, it's time to put Tickle to the test with the first of 3 devices.
Right, The first device I'm going to try is this little gizmo, created from plans downloaded from the internet. It has two metal handles connected by these wires to this box. The theory is that when you lie, you become stressed. When you become stressed, you sweat, and the sweatier your hands are, the more current will pass between them. That's the theory anyway. Brainiac?
Now, hopefully this rubbish bit of kit will steer him completely in the wrong direction.
Hi, Shelley speaking.
Hello, Shelley, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good, I'm just going to ask you a few questions. Are you holding the handles?
I am holding the handles, yes.
I'll just centre the device then. Right, could you tell me what colour underwear you're wearing, please?
I'm wearing black underwear with white pinstripes and black lacy patches.
And could you tell me your cup size, please?
34B.
And could you tell me, do you prefer tanga briefs or thongs?
I would say thong.
You prefer a thong, right. Well, I can't tell very much from that at all. It's not moving very much. Never mind, I'll speak to you later, Kelly.
Okay, goodbye.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Bye.
Inconclusive.
Right, that's good for us. He has no clues at this stage.
Hello there.
Hello, Kelly, how are you?
Oh, you know my name.
Yes, I do, yes.
Good. I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. Could you tell me what colour underwear you're wearing, please?
Well, I have black underwear. Anything else to know?
Yes, I'd like you to tell me your cup size, please.
38D.
Good. And could you tell me whether you prefer a tanga brief or a thong, please?
Oh, thong every time.
2 for 2 on the thongs. Bit of a pattern emerging. Thank you very much, Kelly.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Absolutely no movement there either. I think this thing's rubbish. Next experiment, please.
Will John Tickle's faith in technology be his undoing? Join us later in the show to find out which of our lovely ladies he thinks is telling porkies. Will he get it wrong? We certainly hope so.
You're a feisty little thing, aren't you?
This object has been magnified 20 times. In this state, it can be found in a number of unexpected places. And while it can be put in your mouth, it's not exactly edible. What do you think it is? Find out after the break. Also to come, we catch up with ketchup down at the lab. And John Tickle chooses his girl. This is Brainiac, the science show that orders an extra hot vindaloo and then demands more chilies. Coming up, more 5-star science using 4-star petrol. And plenty more of this kind of thing, as our Brainiac babes get bang happy. But first... Earlier, we showed you this. It's an object that's been magnified 20 times. Stick your hand under any seat or table in a public place, and you'll probably find a piece. Yep, it's chewing gum that's been well and truly chewed. Stop! The following experiment is dangerous for your safety and the protection of those around you. Do not try this at home. No, really, don't. This is a grape which has all but been sliced in half. When energy is added to an object, it turns from a solid to a liquid and finally to a gas. When energy is added to a gas, it turns into plasma. The two halves of the grape act as a kind of antenna, attracting the microwave's radiation to the intact skin in between. The small explosions you can see is plasma, formed as the gas from the burning skin is ionized. We do these experiments so you don't have to. Do not try this at home. Now, we're in the process of testing to see which method is best to use if you're about to run out of fuel and the nearest petrol station is miles away. Earlier in the show, I tried method 1, the slowly approach. While this approach might be the most prudent, it's also the most boring. Oh yes, there are definitely lots more ways you can have fun in a vehicle. When the fuel ran out, I'd completed 15 and a half laps. That's now the benchmark to beat.
I shall now try method 2, the accelerate and coast technique. Basically, I'll accelerate to 40 miles an hour and then put the car into neutral and let it coast. Once my speed drops to 20, I'll accelerate again to 40 and then coast again, and then so on, until I run out of fuel. See if this gets me any further. Strangely, I don't think it will.
The success of this theory depends on whether or not the distance I travel while coasting is going to be more beneficial than the amount of fuel I use getting myself back up to speed.
Now we're slowing, now we're slowing, now we're slowing. Now we're slowing. Okay, now I'm accelerating.
Of course, this method also has its challenges.
Oh no!
After 8 laps, it looks like this is going to be close. The fuel consumption appears to be about the same. Have we found a more With method 1, I managed to get 2.5 more laps out of the petrol remaining in the fuel line. I don't know if this method will go the distance.
Oh, I think it might have gone. I don't know. Oh.
And that's it. Close, but not close enough. Just 1 3/4 laps short.
Well, so much for the accelerating coast method. 13 3/4 laps. Didn't do so well. Join us later when I'll try method 3, the bat out of hell. Will a mad dash for it get me any further? Come on.
The appliance of science. Today, it's centrifugal force. And it's a day at the library for Dad and his lad. Dad knows that centrifugal force occurs when an object is spinning very fast. When you spin, everything is pushed to the outside of the circle. So remember, kids, don't mess with centrifugal force.
In 1983, glam rocker's Twisted Sister released this little ditty.
You can't stop rock and roll!
But we here at Brainiac are pretty confident we can. All you need is a keen eye, a steady hand, and a double-barreled shotgun. Shotguns fire hundreds of lead shot at 850 miles an hour. It's no contest. Can't stop rock and roll? You can with a double-barreled shotgun. This is John Tickle using technology to try and detect the truth. In the rooms behind him are 2 lovely ladies that he's not seen. Using various forms of lie detection, he's trying to spot the fraud. Shelley here is being completely truthful, whereas Kelly is blatantly lying.
I have black underwear.
If Tickle can tell who's lying, he'll be fed strawberries and champagne by Shelley. If he can't, it's a day-old greasy fry-up from our other looker. This is device number 2.
Ah, thanks very much. This little device costs about 50 quid, and it's supposed to work by analysing the frequencies of your voice and detecting stress levels. Let's hope it works a bit better than my last device.
Now, with any device that analyses your voice, it first needs to know how you sound when you're not lying. To calibrate it, basic questions are asked. Once that's done, the lie detection can begin. The less you see of the apple, the more stress the person is under. Now remember, Kelly is our liar.
Tell me a bit more about your underwear preferences. Are you a lacy person or a frilly girl?
Frilly.
I'd say I like a bit of both, actually.
When it comes to bras, are you underwire or those little silicone gel fellas?
Definitely underwired, no silicone gel for me, thank you.
Well, at 38D, I don't need either.
Right, interesting response. Excellent, thank you very much. I'm getting a bit of a clue about Kelly. Right, next test, please.
Well, it looks like he might have detected a bit of a lie, but I suspect it's more tickle than technology. We're upping the kit for device number 3, and who knows, he could still swing either way.
This piece of computer software should give a more accurate result. It's similar to the software that some insurance companies use to help detect fraud.
Hello.
Hello, Shelley, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. Now, could you tell me a bit about the room that you're in, please?
Well, I'm surrounded with long red crushed velvet curtains.
I'm in my bedroom at the moment. I'm lying in a king-size bed.
I'm lying on a long sofa with a red satin sheet.
A tiger rug on the floor. And the lighting's soft.
Excellent, that sounds very nice. And what do you like wearing in bed?
Usually nothing, actually.
Perfume?
Just perfume and nothing else?
Oh, that's right.
Oh, interesting. And last question. Do you prefer your man to wear briefs or shorts?
Oh, boxer shorts, definitely. No briefs for me, thank you.
Well, I'd like him to be stalkers like me.
Oh, interesting. You are a feisty little thing, aren't you? Thanks very much, Kelly. I'll be back to you shortly. Some very interesting results there. I've got a funny feeling that Shelley is telling the truth. You can see here she was slightly excited and slightly confused, but all in all, only some inaccuracies were detected.
That's Shelley's results, but what about Kelly?
No lies or inaccuracies were detected. Rubbish. Well, that's our experiments over. If I'm going to go with the machines, apparently I've got to go for Kelly. But if I trust my own intuition, Shelley's going to pick it, I think. So, on balance, Shelley's winning it. Door number 1, please.
She's a lady.
Oh, what a disappointment.
Oh, actually, I'm just going to check what I could have had.
If only he believed the machines, it would have been so much more fun for us.
Lucky escape. I must have picked right.
So, lie detectors. Well, in this case, Tickle's sixth sense proved to be more accurate than our technology. How very annoying. Brainiac Joe wants to give up smoking. He spends many hours lurking outside buildings in the cold. He's on 20 a day and has been for the last 5 years. He's been offered a course of acupuncture to help him give up, but it would cost 100 quid. We think that's a bit of a rip-off. 100 quid just to have someone stick a few pins in you. So we're stepping in with our very own Brainiac acupuncture kit. Meet Ken Wan Po. He's going to be our acupuncturist. Strictly speaking, he's not an expert in the field. Strictly speaking, he cooks our weekly takeaways at the Chinese canteen, a regular Brainiac Friday night favourite. We decided we needed a Chinese person to do our version of acupuncture, as it is an ancient Chinese treatment. After all, anyone can call themselves an acupuncturist without any qualifications, so we reckon Ken should be allowed to have a go. The big question is, can he get Joe to stop smoking by stabbing him with bits from a geometry set? First things first, to give him a crash course training session in his new line of work, and a little cash for his time.
What we talked about?
Yes, he looks happy with that.
I'm just going to run through a few of the basics of acupuncture with you, because we're
The theory behind acupuncture is that the insertion of needles into the body unblocks invisible qi energy.
Upper lung here and the lower lung here.
This then balances the opposing forces of yin and yang. Now our Ken wouldn't recognise qi if it reared up and kicked him, but he is willing to give this acupuncture thing a go. Joe has to have complete faith in the treatment for it to work, so we're keeping Ken's whole lack of medical training thing a bit of a secret. And he's started a video diary.
I'm not sure how effective it's going to be. I'm fairly cynical and sceptical about the whole thing, but, you know, I really want to give it a good go, and with a bit of willpower and self-belief, I think I can do it.
Time then for his first course of treatment.
Hello.
My name is Dr. Lee Tai, and I'm going to help you cure your smoking with acupuncture. Let's go and do some...
Well, Joe doesn't look too sure about all this, but he's going along with it. First, Kenny gives Joe his checkup.
Now, are you allergic to any sort of drugs or anything like that?
Not the ones I've taken, no.
Okay. We better test your reflexes and see.
Without medical training, he's taking a bit of a wild stab at this part of the process. It's not the only bit of wild stabbing he'll be doing today.
Down to your smoking as well.
Yeah, because...
Fortunately, Joe isn't the brightest bulb in the Brainiac box, so he hasn't sussed Ken's real identity.
Okay, last one. Yeah. Joe, can you take out your top and then lie on the couch for me?
If acupuncture does work, some doctors believe it may be more to do with the desire of the patient to give up rather than any stuff about invisible lines of energy. Will that be enough for Joe?
Are you taking any medication? No.
I think he's about to give him an internal.
Eyes shut. You mustn't...
No, he's just preparing where to poke.
Not going to hurt, is it? Just
out comes the compass then.
Just feel a little prick. It doesn't hurt, does it? Do another position. Alright. I'm vibrating it a bit.
Acupuncturists like to cure smoking by sticking needles around specific parts of the body, mostly the region around the ear.
I don't want you to move here, because I might poke something else.
Despite Ken's training session being based around this area, it looks like he's decided to take a more random approach.
I need to do a bit on the shoulder because the meridian runs along there.
A course of Brainiac acupuncture is, of course, not a pain-free option. Stabbing with the compass rarely is. But we always bear in mind the ancient mantra: if it don't hurt, it don't work.
Lovely.
Put on your clothes and then you can go.
So that's one full treatment, is it?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Take care. If you have any problem, come back.
So, the first course of treatment is over. How will Joe get on? We'll catch up with him later in the show.
Champion.
Try this. Shout out the colour the following words are written in. That's the colour of the words, not the words themselves. Ready? This is hard because, like trying to simultaneously pat your head and rub your stomach, the brain is trying to do two conflicting activities and tries to apply one rule to both. And it's even harder when you try to listen to me as well. If you've been watching the series, you'll know that we've been looking at which products in the office make the best buoyancy aids. Why? Well, it's claimed that if the global climate rises by just 3 degrees centigrade, it'll result in sea levels rising by 7 meters. And we here at Brainiac think you should be prepared for that. We've already established some office products you should definitely grab if you find yourself in this situation. An upside-down waste paper basket works a treat, as does an empty office water cooler bottle and the office corkboard. The products you should avoid, however, are PC monitors and cardboard boxes of any shape or size. As always, the question is, which product will he go for when he hears the high water level alarm? Well, for a couple of reasons, this looks like a great choice. For one, the cups are in a sealed bag which has air trapped inside it. And two, the cups are made from polystyrene. Believe it or not, 95% of polystyrene foam is actually air. And the other 5% is, you guessed it, polystyrene. With so much of the cups being made up of trapped air, it makes an ideal flotation device. One day it just might pay to remember this. Bags of polystyrene cups, also an office buoyancy aid. Superb science, the Brainiac alternative to binge drinking.
Bet you a tenner, I can turn that tea bag into a floating hot air balloon. Okay? I've got one I prepared earlier. Just empty the tea baggy stuff out of it and hold still. Don't breathe or you blow it over. It'll burn the paper, leaving a residue which has a density lower than air, which will cause it to rise up in the air, glowing like a hot air balloon. Any minute now, it will go into... It did! It did! It worked! Yes! 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 It actually worked! It worked! It's never worked before! Come on. Oh, hang on. No, I'll be back next week. I'll see you next...
I'm not a science boy, I told you!
Not a lab.
Things John Tickle's body can't do.
Come in. Hello, Mr. Tickle. Would you stand over there, please? Now, Mr. Tickle, would you please tickle yourself?
If you try to tickle yourself, your brain anticipates the contact and prepares itself. By taking away the feeling of unease and panic, your body no longer responds to the stimulus.
I'm sorry, nurse, I can't do that.
Goodbye.
One more thing John Tickle's body can't do. Which fruit floats? Featuring Professor Mayang Lee and her big basket of fruit. Today she's got a luscious little lemon. So, what's your guess? Will it sink or will it float? We'll give you a few minutes to argue about it and give you the answer after the break. Also to come, the bat out of hell approach. Can I go further by putting my foot down? And kindness with cruelty. More painful treatment for our Brainiac.
This is Brainiac, the show that does for science what Wayne Rooney does for the England football team, until he stubs his toe.
Coming up, it all gets messy down at the lab as we check out the fastest ketchup. And one lucky viewer will be getting the chance to play with the Brainiac babes. Could it be you? But first... Before the break, Professor Mayang Lee posed the question, does her luscious little lemon sink or float? Yes, lemons float.
Things that make you go,
Here's one for you. If you get your heart pumping with caffeine, is that considered good aerobic exercise?
Things that make you go,
Welcome to the third and final part of our mission to find out just what is the best thing to do if you're so low on fuel you don't think you'll make the next petrol station. Earlier in the show I tried two very different approaches.
Method 1 was the slowly approach. Painful as it was, I wasn't allowed to go over 30, and the end result, apart from boredom, was 15 and a half laps. Method 2 was a bit more fun, the accelerate and coast method. I would accelerate to 40, then put the Brainiac mobile into neutral and coast, hopefully conserving fuel as I freewheeled, and so on, until the fuel was completely drained from our specially designed transparent fuel tank. It was close, but method 2 was not as good as the first, falling short by 1 3/4 laps.
Now though, I shall try a third method. Basically, I'm going to go as fast as I can, as far as I can, before my petrol runs out. So will this bat out of hell approach get me and my strange friend any further?
No doubt about it, this method is definitely going to be the most enjoyable. is well documented that having a heavy right foot isn't the most economical way to drive, but it would be irresponsible of us to tell you that without actually proving it to you, wouldn't it? Yes, this is much better than crawling along at 30. With my foot flat to the floor, I'm able to get up to 55. However, because of the Brainiac mobile's handling, I am probably travelling some extra distance through the corners. Method 1's 15.5 laps is the best distance so far. Then after 4 laps, I can actually see the fuel disappear before my very eyes. At this stage, I've used loads more fuel, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to finish well short. Still, it is a hell of a lot more fun. After 7 laps, that's it. No more petrol in the tank. All that's left is what remains in the fuel line. How far will it carry me? Oh no! I think we're going! Not very far at all. This method was fast and furious, but not very effective, completing a grand total of 9 laps. So, more highly scientific proof, as always on Brainiac, that if you are going to run out of petrol, driving like your granny will make what fuel you've got left last almost 30% longer than going like a bat out of hell. Of course, it is also more than 100% more boring, but hey, you can't argue with science. I can't start the car, I've got no petrol. Stay here. Pie and ketchup. Together, a tasty snack. But what's the best way to get this stuff out? Three Brainiacs and 3 bottles of tomato sauce. Their mission? To empty their bottle of ketchup first and win the race. This Brainiac is going to bang the top of the bottle. This one will slap the sides, and this one will shake it like mad. Which will be the best method? These 3 haven't had anything to eat today, so they're all mad keen to win the prize, meat pies. And they've each got a teammate to encourage them, and who more than likely is going to get covered in ketchup.
Please remove your lids.
But they'll get pies as well.
Prepare to pour.
As long as their team finishes first.
Do it.
The science behind ketchup pouring, and yes, there is science to it, is viscosity, the flow of sticky liquids. Many people like to hit the bottom of the bottle. This has the advantage of providing a single violent jolt, good for shifting particularly sticky bits of the liquid. However, hitting the top can also mean that the inertia of the sauce sends it in the opposite direction to the one you want it to go. Getting the ketchup out by slapping the side of the bottle is really a minority view. Good for releasing some stubborn blobs, it really doesn't have the heavy impact of a good downward thump. Shaking the bottle is a good plan though. Ketchup is a thixotropic liquid, which means that at rest it has a jelly-like consistency. If you shake it, it becomes runnier and so comes out of the bottle quicker. And Shaky Bottle Brainiac reckons he's finished. But no, the judge rules he hasn't got it all out. A well-known leading manufacturer of tomato ketchup, whoever that might be, claims that their ketchup flows at 0.04 miles an hour. But that's without assistance. This ketchup's moving a lot faster than that with the added help it's getting. Slap on the side, Brainiac, the next to call? Nope, the judge sends him back as well. Not finished yet. And now it's belt the top, Brainiac. And yes, he's done it! And they reward all the tasty pies with ketchup as well, of course. An empty bottle of ketchup means 2 Brainiacs full of pies. The best way to get the ketchup out of the bottle? Belted on the top.
Bored of spaghetti? Don't be. It's amazingly weird stuff. Did you know if you snap a piece of spaghetti, it always breaks into 3 bits? Try it! Cool.
Brainiac Joe has been trying to give up smoking, and we've been helping him with a course of acupuncture, Brainiac style.
Okay.
His acupuncturist calls himself Dr. Li Tai, but his real name is Ken Huan Po, and he usually works at our favourite Chinese takeaway. We haven't told Joe that, of course, because we want to find out whether acupuncture really can cure smoking, or whether it's all in the mind. And with Joe, we don't have a lot of mind to work with. But for 7 days, he has managed to stay off the fags.
I never thought I'd last a week. I mean, I think when you've got your first week out of the way, that's a big hurdle. I'm seeing the acupuncturist on Monday.
Well, he's clear of the fags so far, but one nasty side effect.
Cooking with gas.
It's turned him into a bit of a prat. After 1 week, Joe goes back for a top-up session to keep him going. This time, though, Ken's decided to opt for a bit of a prod with a set square. To be honest, Joe seems so convinced anything would do at this point.
Exactly injecting stuff into
No injection of stuff.
And Ken gives him something else to help him when times get tough.
Now you got to follow up at home. These are backup, especially needles. Yeah. Whenever you feel the crave, just take one of these sticks out and stimulate the lobe of the ear.
Yeah.
There you go.
Lovely. Thanks so much.
Okay, bye-bye. Good luck.
They're not really Shaolin acupuncture needles, of course, just a box of toothpicks from Ken's takeaway. But who knows, they may help. And amazingly, almost 3 weeks later, it looks like our Brainiac acupuncture really has worked.
I don't know whether it's psychological or not, but, you know, it generally has helped me. So, you know, to keep rolling on the old Shaolin and, yeah, see if we can aim for a month. But, you know, that's how it is.
And several months later, yes, Joe is still off the fags. And Ken, well, he's back to his day job. But if you want to give up smoking, don't worry. He's waiting for your call. Explosive of the week, where down at Big Bang Farm, the girls are getting in a spot of DIY. They're going to pick an explosive, blow it to little pieces, and then give it marks out of 10. But here's the best bit. You too can rate the explosion and win the chance to join the girls blowing stuff up on the final show of this series. But what explosive will the girls choose this week? Well, they're taking their time over it. There's a lot to choose from.
Spaghetti. Nitrocellulose. Really?
Yes, nitrocellulose. These thin sticks of explosive are the propellant of choice for virtually all projectile weapons. And this week, the girls plan to blow up a full-size model of Audrey's ex-boyfriend, Tim. 3 of their friends will judge the explosion, giving it marks out of 10. And this is where you can take part. If you've enjoyed seeing our girls exploding fridges, garden sheds, office equipment, and, well, whatever, good news. Here's your chance to come along and blow something up with them in the final show of the series. And all you have to do is vote. Digital satellite viewers, press the red button now, or you can text us on 87654. Rate the explosion out of 10 to enter our draw. Just text BANG, leave a space, and your score between 1 and 10. That number again, 87654. Today's explosive, nitrocellulose, is a clean-burning, double-base propellant, containing cellulose and nitroglycerin as the 2 active ingredients. In an unconfined state, it burns in a slow and sedate manner. However, when enclosed, the entire charge is consumed in milliseconds. That should see off Tim nicely, then. The girls always like to ensure that they are a safe distance away when the bang goes off, especially this time, as Tim is going into orbit. Judges set. We're ready for liftoff.
Okay, count us in. 3, 2, 1.
Wow! See Timmy fly! And what a fine pop he makes when he lands. How happy they are! But the judges? Oh, Beryl, that's a miserable score. Only 3? Mavis doesn't agree at all. She awards it a 7. And the lovely Hilda agrees with a big fat 8. Ah well, goodbye, Timmy. And it's sayonara also from our man-hating lovelies.
The gaffer's getting tough to get the lads ready for the warm-up game.
You cannot be sidetracked. This is our cup final.
The match, the Celebs versus Newcastle Youngbloods, next.
Then at 10, justice and the law are at odds in brand new Law and Order.